All right, everyone, this is the American Werewolf, and I'm here with my spoiler-free review of M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. Now, I've been a fan of Shyamalan from the beginning, from The Sixth Sense. I love The Village, Signs, just you name it. I've been a fan and kind of been there. I wasn't a fan of The Lady in the Lake or The Lady in the Water. I wasn't necessarily a fan of that, but not a terrible movie. But I've been a pretty consistent fan throughout. Unbreakable, and the two movies that came after that. So when I heard that he was getting Josh Hartnett in a serial killer film with Hartnett as the big bad, I was like, "Fuck yeah, sign me up! Take my money." I've also been a fan of Josh Hartnett since Black Hawk Down, 30 Days of Night, Penny Dreadful. So I mean, you're putting two of my favorite people in Hollywood together. And so basically you have the story of Hartnett playing a dad who is taking his daughter to like a teeny bopper concert, like a Taylor Swift concert or an Olivia Rodrigo or whoever the girls are listening to these days, where he notices an enormous police presence there at the concert and finds out that the police are planning to apprehend a notorious serial killer who they believe is at the show. And of course, Hartnett is the killer. Now, I guess what I was expecting, because I kept hearing people say that it's Silence of the Lambs meets Taylor Swift, I kept expecting this big explosion of violence. That never really happens. It's more where he's just trying to play it safe, keep his identity, away from his daughter, who he really is, and get them both out of there without him getting busted. So there's never any real, scene where he just erupts and, you see his real face. I mean, you kind of do, but not as much as I was hoping. Now, I've seen some interviews with M. Night Shyamalan about this, and it looks like he's planning on a series of movies about this character, and I'm thinking other characters. Sort of maybe he's setting up another sort of Unbreakable trilogy. And I wouldn't mind that. I didn't understand. Looking back on it now, and what I saw, if I saw that this was kind of just the first movie, then I would be okay with, 2 or 3 more. Not knowing that in advance, I kind of walked out and I was like, I'm not so sure about this. But as I was just talking about in my other review for Zack Snyder's director's cuts of Rebel Moon, increasingly we're seeing these directors produce these very long stories with several chapters. You've got Kevin Costner, 12 hours with Horizon, Zack Snyder, 6 hours with Rebel Moon, probably with 2 more at least in mind. I don't know if he'll get them made. This movie runs about 90 minutes, but looking at 3, maybe 4 more. So these increasingly extended storylines, I'm very much a fan of. And that artists, I guess, that feel that they're in a position to make the project that they want, or just saying, fuck it, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do. And I guess what I really struggled with in this film is that, and again, I'm going to keep it spoiler free, is that ultimately he's outwitted, by that I mean Josh Hartnett's character is outwitted by some less than bright bulbs. I could see it if it was a one-off with one of the main law enforcement characters that are around there. I could see that, but it's not. He's sort of undone, and maybe this is realistic, by what he doesn't see. The thing in front of him is so pronounced in terms of the law enforcement presence that he ultimately misses what undoes him. And so maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. I was hoping it was more along the lines of a sort of, Hannibal Lecter, John Doe, sort of invincible, sort of serial killer who is just going to outsmart everyone. But it doesn't necessarily play out that way. I guess what I figured out about 2/3 of the way through the film is that it's not a horror thriller or even an action thriller. It's more of a black comedy. It just kind of is. It has a lot of comedic elements, and that's okay. It's just not what I was expecting. It's not a terrible movie. My rating system, I gave it 3 out of 5. If I really wanted to, put a sort of hardcore lens on it, a white glove it, I might go to 2.5, maybe even 2, but I won't. Harnet's performance is good. The girl who plays his daughter, she puts in a good performance. And yeah, I mean, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, which is better than most movies that are, released regularly. So when he puts one out, I always try to watch it. This is no exception. I think, as always, you should make up your own mind, get to the theater and see it. That's my review. 3 out of 5. So yeah, not terrible. Probably somewhere in the middle of, or maybe in the lower or middle tier of entertainment. It's not content, but it's not that upper tier level of, filmmaking either. That's sort of just, is right there at the crossing line of cinema. So 3 out of 5. That's my video. Like this video. Leave a comment. Are you going to see it? Did you see it? Do you not plan on seeing it? Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. We will see you all in the next video. All right, take care, everyone. God bless you. Bye-bye.